A tiny pool of water circles the bottom of my glass. The condensation trickles down another second past. July is heavy on the asphalt outside the window pane, while I sit watching floating cubes dissolve away like rain. I count the scratches on the table's dark wooden veneer, thinking about the quiet words I failed to let you hear. The air conditioner hums a steady monotone tone. I sip the bitterness right here entirely on my own. The plastic straw clicks softly on the frosted rim as afternoon light starts to slowly flicker and grow dim. Cold brew running through my veins to freeze the noise, lost somewhere between my silence and my past choices. Outside the pavement burns beneath the midday heat. Inside I let the chill and quiet finally me, just me and this iced glass on a summer afternoon, tracing little water rings while chasing down a mood. A single sugar packet sitting untouched by my hand. Some days I write out feelings that I do not understand. My phone screen lights up briefly then goes dark again. I watch the dripping ice form a tiny liquid chain that goes fresh slowly from my throat down to my chest, in this air-conditioned corner where my racing thoughts can rest. Cold brew running through my veins to freeze the noise, lost somewhere between my silence and my past choices. Outside the pavement burns beneath the midday heat. Inside I let the chill and quiet finally me, just me and this iced glass on a summer afternoon, tracing little water rings while chasing down a mood. Everyone outside is rushing through the humid glare. I watch the shadows lengthen from my solitary chair. One sip is all it takes to quiet down the mental room, a temporary fortress built against the summer gloom. The last ice cube settles with a quiet sound, water rings fading on the wooden ground. The glass is cold, my mind is still, sitting right here on the windowsill. A delivery bike rattles down the asphalt alley outside, screeching his tire brakes right by the curb. You sigh and slide your heavy laptop across the table, wiping dust off the corner of your phone screen. Yeah, the heat outside is sticking to the pavement, but inside it is cool enough to hear you breathe. You look like you haven't slept in 3 days, so don't talk about work just yet. Look at the frost crawling up the glass, dark liquid shaking under floating cubes. We don't need a map for the afternoon, just sit back and let the cold air hit your chest. Take a slow sip before you say a word, let the ice clink softly against your front teeth. Summer is melting every deadline on the street, but right here you're allowed to go slow. Drink it down, my friend. Let the bitter cold wash away the heat. Remember when we thought 25 was old? Now 30 is creeping through the back door. Your tires loose, your eyes are looking somewhere far, chasing a promotion that keeps moving the goalposts. Listen to the espresso machine, it's across the room, and forget the emails waiting in your drafts. I ordered the dark rose with extra ice for you, the way you used to like it back in school. Look at the frost crawling up the glass, dark liquid shaking under floating cubes. We don't need a map for the afternoon, just sit back and let the cold air hit your chest. Take a slow sip before you say a word, let the ice clink softly against your front teeth. Summer is melting every deadline on the street, but right here you're allowed to go slow. Drink it down, my friend. Let the bitter cold wash away the heat. The sun outside is baking the brick walls, people rushing by with folded newspapers. You keep checking your watch out of habit, but the world won't collapse if you pause. I am sick No speeches, no advice, just a gold glass. Take a slow sip before you say a word. Let the ice clink softly against your front teeth. Summer is melting every deadline on the street, but right here you're allowed to go slow. Drink it down, my friend. Let the bitter cold wash away the heat. The glass is sweating on the wooden coaster. Take another sip. We have got time today, just drink it down. Roasted beans, smoke drifts through humidity, mixing with the scent of damp concrete. She sits by the open sliding glass door, a silver bracelet resting on the wooden table. The heat hangs heavy over the avenue, but inside her tumbler ice cubes clink. He brings over 2 cold brews with extra foam, setting one down without saying a word. Their phones face down on the polished wood. The ceiling fan spins slow in rhythm. Neither one mentions the heat outside, just watching the sweat roll down the plastic side. Cold coffee dripping through July afternoons, washing out the dust that settled in the room. A quiet chill in a crowded alleyway, making all the heavy worries float away. She takes a sip as the straw hums low, holding on to moments moving extra slow. Fresh ground espresso scents the humid breeze that rustles through the potted monstera leaves. He traces circles on the wet coaster rim. She smiles softly, glancing back at him. Outside, the city moves at full speed. Inside, a glass of cold brew is all they need. Their phones face down on the polished wood. The ceiling fan spins slow in rhythm. Neither one mentions the heat outside, just watching the sweat roll down the plastic side. Cold coffee dripping through July afternoons, washing out the dust that settled in the room. A quiet chill in a crowded alleyway, making all the heavy worries float away. She takes a sip as the straw hums low, holding on to moments moving extra slow. The summer heat presses against the glass panes, leaving faint shadows of passing urban trains. They don't need promises spoken out loud, just bitterness and cream above the noise of the crowd. The ice shrinks down to tiny polished beads. Silence gives them everything they need. The smell of dark roast lingers on the afternoon air. 2 cold glasses sitting quietly right there. Stillness splits apart when your name hits my mind. Heavy July air waits outside the glass door. I ordered dark roast poured over cracked ice cubes, watching light beams cut through shade on the wooden floor. Neon sign flickers red against pale yellow brick. Sweat on my wrist drips down past my watch strap. The city runs fast while this counter stays frozen, trapped in a beat like a quiet rhythm tap. Frost climbs the glass walls, clear turned to gray outside. Asphalt steams under a white afternoon light. I press cold plastic right against my hot palms, wishing every loud thought could just turn out right. Sipping dark ice under blinding summer shade, we watch the city melt down into gold dust. One cold sip swallows up the heat in my chest, leaving behind everything we left in the rust. Dipping straw deep in the dark brown reflection. Time slows its pace while the heavy street glows. Cold coffee holding back the midsummer fever. This is where the rest of the movie frame goes.
Traffic comes low through the double pane glass. Pedestrians blur like a long exposure shot. An electric van turns with a slow steady breeze, cooling down corners that the daylight forgot. You used to like hazelnut syrup on top. I stick to black espresso, bitter and deep. The ice cube splits with a sharp tiny crack, waking up a memory I promised to keep.
Chill glass hits my lips, liquid runs cold. Frost leaves a white streak along my dark thumb. Outside the heat wave burns up the crosswalk. Inside this corner my crowded thoughts turn numb. Cracked ice melting down to water at last. Street light warm up as the shadows turn blue. One final sip of this cold summer dark. Cinematic silence settling back over you. Why does August always feel like a memory before it even happens? Plastic cups sweating onto my desk. Another iced Americano in my left hand. Looking out the window, pavement baking. People running from shade to shade. Did I miscalculate my 20s, or is everybody just acting brave? Ice clings against the wall, black coffee turning translucent brown. Scroll down, refresh, swipe left, turn the speaker volume down. My manager probably thinks I am reviewing the monthly spreadsheet. Actually, I'm calculating how many summers I've left before I completely change. Bitter dark roast hits the back of my throat, shivering inside while the asphalt burns outside. Floating somewhere in between what I wanted and what I became. Watching the plastic straw drift around the rim. Sipping cold brew while the city melts down. A 30-second freeze in a 30-degree town. Thoughts running sideways, catching on your ghost again. Is it the caffeine shaking my hands, or just remembering back then? Cool air hitting my skin, but my head stays heavy. Another sip, another second, trying to hold it steady. Yeah. Maybe I should call in sick. Walk down to the river, sit on a bench. No, the humidity would destroy my mood in 5 minutes flat. Remember when we shared that cheap shaved ice by the subway exit? You hated red beans, I hated how you always left your shoes untied. Strange how small details stick around while important days slip through my fingers. Condensation dripping on my knee, leaving a watermark on my blue jeans. Is it normal to feel this hollow at 2 p.m. on a Thursday? The barista looked at me like he knew I was running on empty. Bitter dark roast hits the back of my throat, shivering inside while the asphalt burns outside. Floating somewhere in between what I wanted and what I became. Watching the plastic straw drift around the rim. Sipping cold brew while the city melts down. A 30-second freeze in a 30-degree town. Thoughts running sideways, catching on your ghost again. Is it the caffeine shaking my hands, or just remembering back then? Cool air hitting my skin, but my head stays heavy. Another sip, another second, trying to hold it steady. Cube melts down to a sliver. Water dilutes the espresso, turning dark brown into pale yellow. I used to want everything to be strong, diluted intense. Now I just want something cold enough to make my brain make sense. Clock ticks 3 p.m. chime, lost inside a paper sleeve, killing summertime. Where do the questions go when the cup is empty? Rattling plastic laughs, drop of melted ice. Back to work, I guess. Back to the aircon breeze. Just another Thursday in July. The heavy metal chair sinks deep into the pavement heat. I sit here with an iced Americano at my feet. If I could mail a postcard back to 2010, I would tell you stop worrying about where you end. You thought the summer heat would swallow up your dreams. Trapped in a tiny room, tearing at the seams. Look at me now, sitting underneath this shade, drinking dark espresso that the afternoon just made. The ice cubes click against the glass, a gentle beat. You were running so fast on those burning streets. Take a breath, boy, let the sweat dry on your shirt. Nothing that you broke back then will always hurt. So sip it slow, young heart, the future isn't far. You don't have to carry every heavy little scar. July will quiet letter sent from me to you. Yeah, remember how you skipped your meals to save some cash? Fearing every small mistake would end in a crash. You bought the cheapest coffee just to sit inside, hiding from the midday sun with nowhere left to hide. I know your shoes were worn, your bank account was low. You wondered if the seeds you planted ever grow. They do, my friend, they bloom in colors, clear and deep. So get some sleep, the promises you made you keep. The ice cubes click against the glass, a gentle beat. You were running so fast on those burning streets. Take a breath, boy, let the sweat dry on your shirt. Nothing that you broke back then will always hurt. So sip the slow, young heart, the future isn't far. You don't have to carry every heavy little scar. July will pass, the bitter taste will turn to sweet. Just rest your tired shoulders in this quiet sea. With the cold brew in your hand, you'll make it through. Here is a quiet letter sent from me to you. The condensation drips onto my thumb today. I wash away the worry that you couldn't say. You made it here, you made me who I am right now. I wish I could have shown you then exactly how. The chair holds all my weight, I'm standing firm. You survived the long heat of that summer term. Drink your iced coffee, let the cold air settle in. You are doing just fine right where you begin. Amber light shines across the counter edge. The fan overhead spins in lazy circles. I pull my iced coffee closer to my chest, watching condensation pool on the dark wood. Yeah, you sit at the small table right next to mine, laptop closed, staring out at the heat wave. You ask if the chair beside me is taken, and I just shake my head and move my back. Hot air stays trapped behind the glass door. Inside my straw makes a quiet clicking sound. You ask me if this brew tastes too bitter today, and suddenly two strangers are sharing a beat. Mid-afternoon hums with the steady lo-fi rhythm. I drink down the cold roast, feeling the chill in my throat. We talk about cities we used to live in, holding plastic cups until our fingertips go numb. No names exchanged, just small gentle words. A brief conversation in the middle of July. You tell me you hate how sticky August gets. I laugh into my cup and say July is worse. You point at my ice cubes floating near the rim, saying sound travels slower when the humidity spikes. We share a paper napkin to wipe the wet rings. Your voice moves easy over the baseline in the background. Two strangers taking shelter from the blinding noon, finding comfort in a 30-minute pause. Sometimes the people who pass through your day leave the cleanest mark on an uncomfortable afternoon. When your glass is empty and you stand up to leave, you smile once and say, take care out there. Mid-afternoon hums with the steady lo-fi rhythm. I drink down the cold roast, feeling the chill in my throat. We talk about cities we used to live in, holding plastic cups until our fingertips go numb. No names exchanged, just small gentle words. A brief conversation in the middle of July. Amber light softens as the shadows stretch out. My hand stays cold long after you walk away. Just a cup of ice and a stranger's kind voice. I finish my drink in the quiet air. Yeah, you said yesterday my habits never change. Sit by the air vent watching condensation form on clear plastic. A green straw rested across a white paper napkin. the cashier writes a tiny smiley face with a dying black pen. A delivery rider wipes his neck with a damn blue towel. The neon sign near the bathroom flickers once every 10 seconds. I swirl the last 2 ice cubes and listen to them hit the wall. Outside, heat shimmer bends a yellow bus stop sign. Someone dropped a folded receipt near the concrete curb. My phone screen sits at 22% battery, and what you told me yesterday hangs heavy in the chill cold brew. Pressed against my knuckles, freezing the skin. I list every little detail just to stain the sea. The hum of the coffee grinder, a faded stain on my shoe. July moves slow while I count the water dripping down. Cold brew, pressed against my knuckles, steady and calm. You said I noticed too much, maybe you were right. A small dog wearing blue shoes trots past the glass door. The girl across from me flips a paperback page every minute. Her silver ring clinks against her ice glass tumbler. A dry ficus leaf lies still beside the table leg. My left sleeve is slightly stretched from pulling it down. I check my inbox for promotional emails about furniture. The straw sleeve has a clean tear running down the barcode. The heat presses hard against the double pane glass inside. The frost melts in the thin vertical lines. A straight cast leaks beneath the shade of a red scooter. The speaker overhead switches to a low baseline beat. Everyone in this room breathes at a slower tempo. You say yesterday I live inside my head too much. I take the final sip of watery dark coffee. A city bus cuts through the reflection on the window. An ice cube drops to the bottom with a quiet click. Just small things all afternoon. Rough cotton threads cling to my sun-baked arm as the ceiling fan spins lazily overhead in the alley cafe. I press the frosted plastic cup to my collarbone, feeling the cold sweat leaking to the weave of my shirt. This worn fabric used to be yours, washed 100 times. Faded from bright navy to a quiet shade of slate. One sip, but it's bitter ice dripping down my throat. And suddenly the humidity rewinds to 2 summers back. You were sitting right across the narrow wooden desk, pulling at the loose strings of your oversized sweater. We ordered 2 cold brews and let the straws click against the rims, trading small promises we didn't know how to keep. Cold coffee on a blinding afternoon takes me back to the bench where we used to sit. The ice clinks down, memory flashes bright and clear. Your hand slipping into my sleeve right here. We thought the summer would never run dry. Now I drink alone under the hazy sky. The condensation runs down my palm like rainwater. I wipe it on my faded jeans, the denim feeling stiff and real back. Then you hate it when the ice watered down the dark road, saying we had to drink fast before the flavor vanished. I guess we drank too fast back then. Now I take slow sips, letting the chill sting my gums, rewinding every word you whispered through the steaming frost. Watching the traffic crawl down Mapo Bridge in the heat. Cold coffee on a blinding afternoon takes me back to the bench where we used to sit. The ice clinks down, memory flashes bright and clear. Your hand slipping into my sleeve right here. We thought the summer would never run dry. Now I drink alone under the hazy sky. Fabric remembers the heat long after the sun goes down. My shirt still carries the weight of that July afternoon. I swallow the last floating cube, feeling a shiver in my chest. A short frozen frame in the middle of a hot, noisy city. Puff cotton against my skin, an empty plastic cup in my hand. The ice is gone now, just a cold memory left behind. 3:15 blinks on the digital wall. Sweat on the plastic cup starting to fall. I bite the green straw, stir the dark roast round, watching the ice cubes make a hollow sound. I close my eyes and I jump 5 years past all the rent checks and late night fears. We're sitting somewhere near a coastal street, air conditioner humming soft and sweet. Maybe a balcony with room for 3. One small dog and you and me. We'll order the same cold black drink then and laugh about who we used to be back when. I'm sipping today, but I'm drinking with you in July next decade. Watching the sunlight trace the promise that we made. Cold glass in my hand, sweating under the heat, drawing our future on a napkin sheet. When the ice melts down, will we be right there, sharing a cold brew with sea salt hair? Sea salt hair. I see your old sneakers, swap for loafers on the mat. A real wooden table where the light stays flat. No urgent text messages ruining the hour. Just a cool breeze smelling like citrus flower. You ask if I remember this cheap corner cafe, the one where I dreamed up a whole future day. I'll take a long gulp, taste the dark chocolate tone. Happy that we never had to build it alone. Maybe a balcony with room for three. One small dog and you and me. We'll order the same cold black drink then, and laugh about who we used to be back when. I'm sipping today, but I'm drinking with you in July next decade. Watching the sunlight trace the promise that we made. Cold glass in my hand, sweating under the heat, drawing our future on a napkin sheet. When the ice melts down, will we be right there, sharing a cold brew with sea salt hair? Right now, it's just me and a $10 fan, trying to be August the best that I can. But every cold drop rolling down the plastic wall feels like a postcard from a time I can't call. We'll make it there, I know we will. I'm sipping today, but I'm drinking with you in July next decade. Watching the sunlight trace the promise that we made. Cold glass in my hand, sweating under the heat, drawing our future on a napkin sheet. When the ice melts down, will we be right there, sharing a cold brew with sea salt hair? Sea salt hair. 3:15 changes to 3:16 now. We're getting closer somehow. Just keep the ice floating in the glass. Watch the hot afternoon pass. A crumpled yellow receipt rests beside my glass. July is heavy, moving entirely too fast. The pavement outside is cooking the late afternoon, and I am sitting here hiding inside this room. The black coffee glides down my throat like a cold stream, washing away the fever of a half-forgotten dream. My phone screen flashes with a message I ignore. Just another bill, a deadline knocking at my door. 28 years old and still figuring out the rest. I count the ice cubes floating in my chest. The sweat on the plastic lid is starting to drip down, while the city hums its usual exhausted sound. I keep the air conditioner on low today, letting all the tangled thoughts just fade away. One sip of dark roast crisp against my tongue, remembering when summer used to feel so young. The ice clicks soft against the plastic wall. I breathe in cool air, and I don't care at all. Everyone my age is chasing something big and loud, buying up apartments or getting lost inside a crowd. I used to think that running was the only way to grow, but now I like the moments where the clocks run slow. The bitterness cleanses what the humidity ruined. My heartbeat slows down perfectly attuned. No drama, no noise, just condensation on my thumbs, waiting for the quiet satisfaction when it comes. I keep the air conditioner on low today, letting all the tangled thoughts just fade away. One sip of dark roast crisp against my tongue, remembering when summer used to feel so young. The ice clicks soft against the plastic wall. I breathe in cool air, and I don't care at all. Maybe adulthood is just learning how to rest. Not every single afternoon requires your very best. The asphalt burns outside the cafe window pane, but inside this booth I am far away from strain, far away from stress, far away from heat. Just cold brew in silence on a crowded city street. A crumpled yellow receipt sits beside my cup. I stir the last few cubes and drink it all up. Cool air on my skin, quiet in my mind, leaving all the heavy summer days behind. Skateboard wheels click along the pavement below, while you lean back and loosen up your damn black tie. You complain about your boss, then you take a slow sip, watching condensation pour right where our elbows sit. The humidity outside is 94% today, but this tiny corner cafe keeps the chill in place. I pushed the dark iced Americano towards your hand. You didn't even ask, just drank it down like planned. We used to talk about running far away from this town. Now we just talk about which office leaves the AC down. You swirl the plastic cup until the ice rings clear, telling me it is good to have somebody listening here. Take another drink and let the frost clear your head. Forget the heavy deadlines and the things your manager said. The summer afternoon is burning up the street outside, but we got 2 iced coffees and nowhere left to hide. Just breathe in the cold air, listen to the glass ring. We don't need a fortune just to feel like anything. Yeah, you wipe your brow with an old paper towel, pointing out the window at the traffic crawling out. We spent our 20s running till our lungs blew out. Now sitting at a small round desk is what life's about. You ask me if I think we turned out fine or wrong. I point at your empty cup and say we made it this long. The dark roast bitterness hits the back of your tongue, a brief sharp relief while we're still kinda young. We used to talk about running far away from this town. Now we just talk about which office leaves the AC down. Swirl the plastic cup until the ice rings clear, telling me it is good to have somebody listening here. Take another drink and let the frost clear your head. Forget the heavy deadlines and the things your manager said. The summer afternoon is burning up the street outside, but we got 2 iced coffees and nowhere left to hide. Just breathe in the cold air, listen to the glass ring. We don't need a fortune just to feel like anything. Yeah. Outside the asphalt is melting in the heat. People rushing by with heavy leather on their feet. You laugh, clinking your plastic rim against mine, saying simple moments like this keep us right in line. No big promises, no dramatic grand scheme, just cold caffeine cutting through a humid summer dream. Finish up your glass before the ice turns to rain. We have to head back soon, step right into the train. Thanks for meeting me today, old friend. Drink up, let the chill begin. Quietness fractures when an old idea suddenly strikes. The room was still until a stray thought cut the air like film grain. Focus pulls close on the wide glass, double black liquid and clear ice. Outside the tall window, bright July bakes the asphalt gray. A green leaf casts a crisp shadow against the concrete pillar. My straw stirs the dark cold brew, creating a slow whirlpool. Drops of sweat glide down the glass, catching the midday glare. The scene looks like a white shot frozen in a lo-fi movie roll. Dust mosaic motionless inside the shafts of white sunlight. The ceiling fan spins without a sound above the wooden floor. I press the cold rim to my lips and swallow down the chill. Everything stays quiet while the world burns hot outside the door. Dark roast and frozen cubes in a clear tall glass, watching heat waves ripple as the city buses past. Frame by frame the afternoon rolls on real slow, underneath the cool canopy where soft winds blow. A sip of black Americano, just my dry throat, leaving every nosy thought on a silent note. Camera tilts down to my canvas shoes, resting on polished floor tiles. A red brick building across the avenue reflects the harsh sun. People walk fast under dark umbrellas, skipping sidewalk miles, while I sit stationary behind double pane glass, feeling numb. Condensation rings map out where my glass sat minutes ago. The audio phase out, only the clink of melting ice remains. Street lights flicker on standby beneath the haze of a heat wave glow. A quiet frame captured inside late summer steady frames. Lens flare washes out the corner of the small table. The temperature drops 3 degrees with every swallow drop. No dialogue spoken, no heavy drama printed on
shot of cold coffee in a summer drought.
The ice shrinks down to tiny pearls. The summer afternoon unravels quietly. One last sip of cold black brew. The screen fades out in shadow. Where does the cold go after it leaves my throat? I stare at the ceiling fan spinning backwards above the small table. The plastic straw bends like a neat and quiet prayer. Rent is due in 5 days. My shoes are worn down at the left heel. I saw someone who walked like you near the subway exit. The wore a black cap holding a thin plastic bag of fresh peaches. I almost called out, but my tongue was stuck to bitter liquid. July heat sticks to the back of my neck like a wet label. The ice cube clinks against the wall of clear plastic. My brain drifts from old bank statements to your laugh. Why do I remember the exact shade of your kitchen curtains? Everything runs together under 34 degrees Celsius. Sipping this dark cold brew while the pavement bakes outside. Thoughts loop around like a broken late night bus route. The sweat on my fingers leaves a wet ring on the paper napkin. I'm trying to trace where we lost our early momentum. Just me, the bitter frost, and a summer that refuses to end. Traffic hums outside, a heavy bass line vibrating the window glass. Did I leave the iron on at home? I do not even own an iron. My mind wanders off toward the coast we never got to visit. You said you love salt water, but I only knew municipal tap flow. The drink gets lighter as the ice slowly dissolves into clear water. Diluted bitterness, diluted grief, diluted afternoon hours. A text pops up from an automated delivery service. I swipe it away and swallow another deep gulp of dark chill. Sipping this dark cold brew while the pavement bakes outside. Thoughts loop around like a broken late night bus rail. The sweat on my fingers leaves a wet ring on the paper napkin. I'm trying to trace where we lost our early momentum. Just me, the bitter frost, and a summer that refuses to end. If I sit here long enough, will the room turn upside down? The air conditioner blows a dusty breeze across my ankles. Maybe love was just high humidity and terrible timing. Maybe peace is 50% espresso and 50% frozen water. I do not know the answer to a single thing today. Where does the cold go when it is completely gone? The straw scrapes against the plastic bottom. Only air and melted ice left in my hands. Summer keeps dragging its heavy feet through the street. I stand up and walk back into the bright white glare. The iron legs bite into vinyl floorboards, holding down a body that finally learned to sit still. I sip ice black water while outside burns, watching kids run through sprinklers on the hill. To the boy at 20 running late for the buses, sweating through cheap shirts, worrying about us. You thought every summer had to break your back, saving coins for coffee just to stay on track. The glass wet softly on a paper mat. I wish I could send a draft back to where you sat. Tell you to slow down, tell you to breathe. The sweat on your forehead isn't shame on your sleeve. Drink this cold Americano, take your time. The world won't collapse if you pause line by line. I know you were terrified of staying small, working through July till you hit the wall. It gets easier now. The winter passed through. The shade and this ice were waiting for you. You used to drink it's to mix with tap water cold, staring at bank accounts feeling already old. Every hot afternoon felt like an endless test, asking when you'd ever earn a single day of rest. Look at me sitting under AC vents, paying for peace instead of worrying over cents. You made it through the semester, you made it through the fear. The future you prayed for sitting right here. The ice cubes clink against the glass wall, answering questions you raised last fall. You didn't ruin everything, you didn't fall behind. You just needed time to quiet your mind. Drink this cold Americano, take your time. The world won't collapse if you pause the shade in this ice. We're waiting for you. Four chair legs held us up back then. They hold us up now. Rest your hands, kid. The coffee is cold and the air is good. Honey glare spills across the concrete patio, bleaching the asphalt till the shadows turn bruised blue. I pulled a plastic straw through a mound of crushed ice, watching condensation beat on my knuckles. A guy with rolled up sleeves pulls out the metal chair across from me, asks if I mind if he shares the narrow strip of shade. Go ahead, I say, shifting my shoulder bag aside. It's too hot today to hold a grudge over space. He sets down a sweating cup of cold brew, sighing like the humidity took 5 years off his knees. We watch the traffic crawl down the 6-lane street, trapped in identical rhythms we never planned to choose. We drink our ice away in silence, then we talk. Two total strangers resting at 32 degrees. You tell me your design pitch crashed this morning. I tell you I'm just waiting for the day to leave. The bitter espresso washes down the midday heat. A brief conversation before the bus arrives. Sometimes the best comfort comes from someone who doesn't know a single detail of your life. Yeah, he points at the dark liquid in my plastic glass, wonders if 4 shots of espresso is a survival tactic or a mistake. I laugh, my first real laugh since Tuesday afternoon, and tell him it's the only thing keeping my head awake. Yeah, he shows me a blurry photo of his sister's golden retriever. I show him a photo of the sky from 3 years ago. No names exchanged, no social media handles. Just 2 people letting the midsummer pressure drop low. The melting ice cubes click against the plastic rim, a cooling sound that cuts through the heavy August air. For 20 minutes the city stops feeling so oversized, just because somebody chose to sit right there. We drink our ice away in silence, then we talk. 2 total strangers resting at 32 degrees. You tell me your design pitch crashed this morning. I tell you I'm just waiting for the day to leave. The bitter espresso washes down the midday heat. A brief conversation before the bus arrives. Sometimes the best comfort comes from someone who doesn't know a single detail of your life. The light shifts from bright honey to a muted peach, stretching our shadows down the brick pavement line. He finishes his drink, stands up and checks his watch, says, good luck with whatever you're trying to find. I nod, hope your next pitch goes better than today. And just like that, he walks into the crowd. The table is empty again, just 2 wet circles left on the green paint. I take one last sip of watered down coffee, feeling surprisingly light, feeling cool enough to keep walking. Yeah, yesterday you mentioned I noticed everything wrong. So today I sit here watching things that just belong. A plastic straw bends left inside a tall clear glass. A sparrow skips across the tower, shadows pass. The barista silver ring taps 3 times on the rim. The AC hums a chord that keeps the parlor dim. A green canvas tote bag slumps against the bench. A worker outside pauses with the rusted iron wrench. Sipping down the cold brew, feeling liquid frost, counting up the moments of thought we're completely lost. Every tiny detail fits the afternoon so right, underneath the heavy weight of summer light. Ice clings low, cold drops run down the plastic side. Observing every quiet thing I used to try to hide. The condensation dripping on a wooden table groove. A summer afternoon where nothing really has to move. Just me, my cold coffee, and a mental list of small surprises. Watching how the city heat slowly falls and rises.
dog with wet paws leaves 5 prints near the door. A forgotten metro car rests flat upon the floor. The boy across from me is erasing half a sketch. The waitress stops to yawn, a long and tight stretch. The dark syrup settles right beneath the floating cube. A bus driver drinks water from a bent blue tube. You said I look too deep into the clutter in my head, so I'm cataloging ordinary everything things instead. Clings low, cold drops run down the plastic side. Observing every quiet thing I used to try to hide. The condensation dripping on a wooden table. Groove a summer afternoon where nothing really has to move. Just me, my cold coffee, and a mental list of small surprises. Watching how the city heat slowly falls and rises. Yesterday's sharp words are melting in the chill. The fan overhead keeps turning on the windowsill. One drop hits my thumb, a quiet shock of cold. New stories in the quiet waiting to be told. The straw turns slightly to the left. A single sunbeam cuts the room in two. Finish my drink, left the eyes behind. Thinking of what you said yesterday. Now my mind is clear and blue. Coarse linen weaves catch the faint chill drifting from my glass. The fabric sits heavy on my shoulders, stiff and unwashed, holding the humidity of July. I press the plastic cup against my knuckles, letting 40 degrees of cold bite my skin. One sip of this dark roast, and the bitter acidity hits the back of my tongue just like that. The air shifts backward. I am suddenly standing at that old intersection in Mapo. 3 years ago, you were wearing that same scratchy shirt, fanning yourself with a damp subway map. The ice cubes click together, a tiny chime in the heat. The concrete outside burns under 2 o'clock glare. Every rattle of the plastic straw brings back a sentence you left unfinished. I close my eyes and let the draft cool my forehead. Drinking cold coffee while the summer rewinds in my mind. Every drop of frost carries a shadow of your voice. We spent our 20s running out of time, saving change for cheap iced cups. Now I sit in silence, wrapped in stiff fabric, watching the condensation run down. The temperature drops, but the memory stays warm. I remember the way you held your glass with both hands like a shield. We sat on the curb behind the convenience store, ignoring the heat wave warnings. You said winter was coming too fast, even when the asphalt was melting. I would laugh and offer you the last cube of ice to cool your wrist. Now my current apartment sits 5 miles away from the alleyway. The coffee tastes cleaner here, but the sweetness missing entirely. I stretch my arm, feeling the rough weed pull across my elbows. It feels like the exact moment you let go of my sleeve. Time does not blur the edges when the glass is this cold. It sharpens every mistake, every word I should have taken back. I swirl the dark liquid until the last square of ice dissolves completely. The chill reaches my chest, filling the hollow space where you used to sit. Lean against my skin, cold glass in my palm. The flashback fades with the last bit of sweat on the plastic rim. I take one final sip and head back out into the street, left with just the bitterness and the summer heat. 442 glows on the dark stove display, while condensation runs down my tumbler glass. I take a long sip of ice black coffee and picture us 20 years down the line. Yeah, you will probably still wear those oversized shirts, complaining that the humidity makes your hair frizzy. We will have a small couch by a bigger window, watching the city heat shimmer through the glass. Ice cubes clink against the plastic side. I close my eyes and project the frame. No rush, no deadline, pulling at our sleeves. Just a quiet afternoon in a year unknown. In that future summer day we haven't reached yet, I will still order 2 cold brews with extra ice. We will sit on the balcony talking about today, laughing at how young and worried we used to be. Cold glass resting in my palm right now, Maybe we will live near a quieter street with the dog that barks at the mail delivery van. My back might ache when I lean over the table, but you will still steal the last sip from my glass. We won't care about saving up for rent anymore, just deciding which cafe has the best shaded porch. The espresso machine will hum in our kitchen as the July heat settles over the rooftop.
Ice cubes clink against the plastic side. I close my eyes and project the frame. No rush, no deadline, pulling at our sleeves. Just a quiet afternoon in a year unknown. In that future summer day we haven't reached yet, I will still order 2 cold brews with extra ice. We will sit on the balcony talking about today, laughing at how young and worried we used to be. Cold glass resting in my palm right now, holding a tiny slice of tomorrow's calm. Time moves like water dripping off the gloves, slow at first and falling all at once. If I could fast forward to 45, I would still choose this exact flavor with you. 442 ticks over to 40. The ice ships softly in my hand. See you in the future. Same cold drink, same you and me. A green plastic stirrer rests across the corner on my wooden napkin holder. Outside, the heat shimmer distorts the bus stop sign, making the blue numbers bleed in the yellow paint. I spin the dark rose liquid inside my cup, watching the frost collect on the outer rim. 27 years old and I still overthink the way people leave without closing doors completely. I pull the straw up half an inch, hear the ice grip against clear acrylic. My phone screen flashes once, then goes dark. Just a black mirror reflecting my silent jaw. The cold is my tongue before the bitterness, a sharp reminder that I am still standing here. Every summer afternoon feels like a long delay, waiting for the humidity to turn into memory. I swallow the frost while the concrete burns, chasing the chill down my dry throat. Inside this quiet cafe at 2 p.m. I measure my life in diluted cold espresso. No, nobody is asking where I need to go. Nobody is waiting on the other side of the street. Just me, the ice, and the air conditioner hum, freezing the minutes before they slip away. Yeah, I tap my thumb against the plastic lip, watching a droplet stream down toward the base. I used to rush through days like this, planning 3 steps ahead, ignoring the sweat on my wrist. Now I sit back, let the low bass frequency vibrate through the cheap plywood table. My shirt feels light, cool by the indoor draft, while outside the asphalt bakes under heavy noon. I don't need a text back right away, I don't need to justify this empty afternoon. The cold hits my tongue before the bitterness, a sharp reminder that I am still standing here. Every summer afternoon feels like a long delay, waiting for the humidity to turn into memory. I swallow the frost while the concrete burns, chasing the chill down my dry throat. Inside this quiet cafe at 2 p.m. I measure my life in diluted cold espresso. No, nobody is asking where I need to go. Nobody is waiting on the other side of the street. Just me, the ice, and the air conditioner hum, freezing the minutes before they slip away. The ice cubes clink, smaller now than before, floating like pale stones in cloudy water. I trace the square edge of the stir clip, wondering why peace feels so quiet and cold. It doesn't scream like ambition used to, it just sits here, refreshing and still. One last sip of dark cold brew, the stir lies still on the table. The summer rolls on outside the glass. I take my time getting up. Bus brakes is against the asphalt outside. You pull back and chair, looking spent from the wake. The heat wave is heavy, but here in the shadow, I ordered that dark ice drip that you like. Look at you, sign before taking a sip. Loosening your collar like you finally can breathe. You don't have to explain every deadline you miss. Just let the ice cling while the city hums on. Yeah, you've been running too fast through July. Forget about the manager, forget about the rent. Watch the frost on the plastic start to sweat. There's nowhere else you need to be right now. Drink it down slow, let the frost clear your head. We've got all afternoon just to waste if we want. Summer is relentless, but this cup is pure ice, and you don't have to carry the whole world today. Take another sip, let the bitterness fade. Sitting right beside you till the sun goes down. Remember back when we were 21, we thought 30 meant we'd have it figured out. Now you're staring at your phone like it's gonna bite, while your black coffee melts into a watered down brown. Put the screen face down on the table for once. Listen to the fan blade spinning overhead. You're doing alright despite what you think. Even heavy years have quiet hours like this. The sidewalk is glowing under 3 o'clock glare. People rushing past in a blur of traffic noise, but under this awning time moves a bit slower. If you need to complain, I'm right here listening. If you wanna stay silent, that's completely fine too. Just drink it down slow. Another cube melts in the glass. We're alright, my friend, we're alright today. Yeah, Cushman and high ozone drift through the narrow lane. She lifts her tall glass to trace the dripping stain. He sits across them, resting against the plastic rim, watching the condensation running fate for him. The mid-July afternoon hangs heavy on the street, where young adults walk slowly to dodge the humid heat. The ice brews sit like anchors on the iron table, holding down a silence neither one is quite able to break. She takes a slow sip through the green straw, eyes on her phone. He stirs the dark liquid till the cubes are almost gone. A soft street breeze carries summer dust away, leaving just roasted beans in the middle of the day. They watch the ice turn clear inside the tall plastic cup, neither looking down and neither looking up. A smooth baseline plays soft from the shop doorway, chilling down the words they didn't know how to say. In the July heat under the canvas canopy, cold coffee keeps them safe in a quiet sanctuary. The smell of sweet syrup blends with the passing air. He counts the passing cars with a quiet distant stare. She pushes her hair back, glass sweating against her palm, finding in the bitter drop the temporary calm. Two cold black drinks half drained under the sky, a young story pausing as the afternoon goes by. No loud words spoken, just the soft click of a straw, scraping the bottom as the remaining ice melts raw. They share a faint nod, an unspoken truce in the shade, appreciating the small stillness that the chill has made. The bitter espresso leaves a cool, dark taste. Two people on a bench with nowhere left to haste. She takes one last sip before they finally stand to go, leaving 2 circles of water on the table below. An unexpected memory fractures the quiet, while glass beads of water slide down the plastic cup. Outside the coffee shop, asphalt is steaming. A green traffic light changes, nobody rushes up. I sit in the corner beneath the cool vent breeze, watching heat shimmer off parked cars across the street. The black ice liquid swirling against clear ice cubes, as a random thought of you cuts into the heat. The slow beat in my headphones blends with the hum of the espresso machine in the afternoon sun. Every frame on the sidewalk looks like a movie scene, frozen in cool shadows painted in summer green. Drinking cold Americano while the city melts away, tracing your shadow through the lens of today. Ice clinking low, sound dripping like water on tile. I hold this free Mid-summer heat waves stay outside the window pane while I rewrite the narrative of calling out your name. Wide camera angle on the wooden table surface, a half-drained cup leaving circles on the wood. Pedestrians blur past in thin linen shirts. I adjust my dark sunglasses just like I should. Your ghost appears right in line of sight, crossing the zebra pattern baked in white light. I take a long sip, bitter cold hits my throat, writing cinematic lines on a mental sticky note. Drinking cold Americano while the city melts away, tracing your shadow through the lens of today. Ice clinking low, sound dripping like water on tile. I'll hold this freezing glass and stay quiet for a while. Midsummer heat waves stay outside the window pane while I rewrite the narrative calling out your name. Zoom in on the frost clinging to the rim. The room stays dark while the world outside grows dim. One sharp realization interrupts the peace. Summer keeps moving but my memories never cease. Camera fades out on the melting ice frame. The chill in my palm is all that remains. Just a cold glass left on the counter and the summer street moving past. What happens to the noise that sits between two people when neither speaks? I swirl the plastic cup and listen to the frost scraping against the rim. My rent payment clear this morning, my shoulders feel 3 inches higher than usual. A guy across the alley trying to park a silver sedan into a space built for a motorcycle. I wonder if he knows he won't make it. I wonder why I keep watching him instead of replying to your text from 11 minutes ago. Dark rose, 2 extra shots, bitter enough to make my throat tighten just a bit. The humidity outside sits like a wet blanket over the crosswalk. Thoughts collide like traffic on the map. Oh, Bridget, the sky count. The ice cubes floating, 3 have melted into nothingness. Where does the flavor go when the water takes over? Maybe we just dilute until we fit the container. Drawn out syllables in the heat, listening to the straw scrape bottom. I drift from 25 to 29 without a single notice. Cold fluid on a burning tongue. The city keeps hum though. Every unanswered question turns into another sip I didn't need. Summer doesn't explain itself. It just hangs in the room. Did I leave the fan on at the apartment, or am I just imagining the hum? My sneakers are scuffed on the heel from kicking the curb while waiting for the light. You asked me last week what I wanted 5 years from now when I talked about furniture. Why did I talk about a wooden dining table when I eat cereal over the sink? The liquid in my cup is translucent now. Pale brown liquid switched against clear plastic walls. A breeze comes through the open folding glass doors, carrying fried chicken aroma and exhaust. I check my screen, lock it, turn it over, check it again. Thoughts collide like traffic on the map. Oh, Bridget, the sky count. The ice cubes floating, 3 have melted into nothingness. Where does the flavor go when the water takes over? Maybe we just dilute until we fit the container. Drawn out syllables in the heat, listening to the straw scrape bottom. I drift from 25 to 29 without a single notice. Cold fluid on a burning tongue. The city keeps hum low. Every unanswered question turns into another sip I didn't need. Summer doesn't explain itself. It just hangs in the room. Is it better to stay frozen or melt into the background of an August afternoon? I tilt my head back, touch the ice to my cheek, feel the sudden sting. No revelation coming down from the ceiling fans, just lo-fi beats from the corner speaker. I pick up my phone, type 3 words, delete 4, type them back again. Nobody gives you a manual for feeling this calm and this unsettled at the same time. The last cue splits with a tiny click. Water on the wood, the sun shifts 2 inches to the left. I still don't know what I meant to say. Just cold brew and quiet hours. Press wood bears down on towel as I settle into the fern. The full weight of this chair holds my tired shoulder steady, while the July heat shimmers outside the glass front door. I hold a cold tall glass, watching droplets trace the outer rim. Thinking back to how you spent those early 20s in a permanent rush. You were running on 2 hours of sleep and cheap convenience store drinks, terrified that a single wrong turn would ruin everything you aim for. If I could reach through the frost on this table right now, I will pull you out of that sun-baked street into the shade. Condensation runs down the side like tears you refuse to show. The city outside is suffocating, but inside the air conditioner hums quiet. I press the frozen glass to my wrist to feel the chill, and I start drafting a message to a younger heart. Take a slow sip, the sharp bitterness melts away in time. I am sitting here today, drinking cold espresso in a quiet room. All those terrifying nights you spent staring at the low ceiling, wondering if you would ever make something of yourself. They all brought us right here to this cool slow afternoon. Yeah. You were always trying to hurry the years along to prove your worth, eating quick meals on the subway platform, stressing over empty pockets, believing that growing up meant carrying every heavy burden alone. Look at me now, leaning back fully, letting the furniture take my way. I do not check my drink anymore, I let the ice clink softly against the glass. You saved every ounce of effort and I promise you the effort paid off. The future you're worried about is just a peaceful table on a hot summer day. My story spins the dark liquid into a quiet whirlpool. If time was a sidewalk, I will walk back to your cramped room, hand you this frozen cup and tell you that you did enough. You never needed to fight every wave just to stay afloat. The ice drops lower in the glass as the afternoon tilts. The heavy chair anchors me while the breeze hits the window frame. Rest easy, pass out. We finally made it to the shade. 𝗣𝗆 haze bleeds through the fabric shade above. Hot pavement standing up, shimmering waves. You ask me if the dark roast here is always this strong. I look up from my glass, condensation on my thumb, saying it buys 20 minutes of quiet max. You laugh softly, setting down your laptop bag. Two people running out of summer places to hide. The ice just between our plastic cups. A stranger sitting half a foot away. We do not need names to talk about the weight of another July passing by so fast. I sip the bitterness, you stir the cream. Two strangers trading stories in the humid afternoon. You tell me how you almost left the city last spring. I tell you how I stopped counting my mistakes. Cold coffee holding us right here in the quiet shade before we walk back into the sun. Violet reflections pull inside your tinted glasses. You say your job is just typing into endless boxes. I tell you I spend my nights trying to fix my sleep. We both nod like we solved a hidden equation. You ask if I think 29 is supposed to feel this strange. I swallow the last cue, feeling the chill hit my throat, saying nobody really knows what they are doing anyway. Traffic comes a low baseline, 3 meters off the curb. For 10 small minutes we are not lonely at all. No promises to keep, no text we have to send. Just 2 cold drinks melting into water on the wood. I sip the bitterness, you stir the cream. 2 strangers trading stories in the humid afternoon. You tell me how you almost left the city last spring. I tell you how I stopped counting my mistakes. Cold coffee holding us right here in the quiet shade before we walk back into the sun. You throw your cup into the recycling bin. Say, take care, vanish down the sidewalk. The cobalt light shifts into pale copper. My glass is empty now. The afternoon goes on. Your casual remark yesterday afternoon about my posture lingers in my head. I said at this low wooden bench with a nice brew resting on my knee. A red delivery scooter cuts through the heat, its motor buzzing low. The dry cleaner's plastic wrap lands under the awning across the alley. I watch a tabby cat crawl beneath the park silver sedan. The barista wipes the stainless steel counter in 3 smooth circles. Ice clings against the plastic lid as I take another slow sip. The pavement breeze I left over midday humidity. You said I pay too much attention to things that do not matter. Maybe you were right, but everything feels connected today. The condensation drips down my wrist, cooling off my pulse. I keep making a mental tally of the small world around me. Cold espresso washes down the quiet frustration. A breeze moves through the power lines above the convenience store. The traffic light switches from amber to green with no rush. I count the tiny details you mentioned. I always notice just me, my glass, and the slow rhythm of July afternoon. A delivery driver pulls his visor down before turning the key. A girl on a blue bicycle balances iced tea in her basket. The air conditioner compressor rattles twice and hums steady again. A stray receipt flutters against the tire of a parked bicycle. I noticed a tiny chip on the corner of this glass mug. I remember how you laughed when I pointed out the neighbor's pot. It meant the bitter dark roast hits my throat, sharp and refreshing. 4 pigeons land on the telegraph wire, perfectly spaced apart. Yesterday you called me a collector of irrelevant moments. You asked why I remember the color of your socks from weeks ago. It is just how my brain survives a heavy summer weather. I take another sip and write it all down in my mind. The ice cubes shrink until they float like tiny clear pebbles. Cold espresso washes down the quiet frustration. A breeze moves through the power lines above the convenience store. The traffic light switches from amber to green with no rush. I count the tiny details you mentioned. I always notice just me, my glass, and the slow rhythm of July afternoon. The bell above the shop door chimes once as a stranger leaves. A water droplet leaves a ring on the unpainted wood. Your words from yesterday still hang in the warm air. I finished the last drop before the ice completely dissolves. Hey. Heavy slub cotton rose against my knee as I shift weight on this high wooden stool. The air conditioner blows at 23 while asphalt outside makes beneath the midday rule. I spin the plastic cup between my thumbs, watching clear water beat up on the side. One quick sip of dark roast and it comes. The sudden flashback I no longer try to hide. 4 years back on a sweltering afternoon, you sat across from me in that indigo shirt. Yeah, we shared a single fan in a tight blue room, ignoring how the future was bound to hurt. The bitter chill still hits my tongue the same, transporting me straight back to that cramped hallway. I swallowed down the dark ice, recall your name, watching long shadows stretch across the doorway. A summer memory trapped inside a glass, melting too fast before I let it pass. Ay, ay, you always poured in syrup, I took mine black, calling my cold brew a cup of burnt earth. Now sitting in this cafe there was no turning back, just a slow bass line giving quiet thoughts rebirth. The ice cubes knocked together with the hollow sound like a soft snare, drumming through the steady ambient noise. My thumb traces the fabric where the threads are bound, echoing the quiet tone of your forgotten voice. It is strange how a single drop of frozen drip can unlock doors I thought were sealed with time. I feel the rough weave beneath my fingertip, replaying every unspoken line. Water rings drying on the lemonade veneer. A cold drink in July brings a yesterday near. The coarse weave cools down against my skin. Where your memory ends, my afternoon begins. Yeah. 12:45 turns bright on the dashboard clock. I predict a future where the city grid turns soft. 38 years old with a porch above the avenue. July heat, thick enough to see the light bend through. Glass full of dark roast, heavy ice stacked high. No urgent emails waiting, no deadlines slipping by. Just condensation trickling down to meet my sleeve. A quiet afternoon, I finally believe. I can see the wooden chair, the sea breeze, and the curtain. All the doubts I carry now become completely certain. We will sit across a small round table made of oak, laughing at the heavy worries that we once spoke. One day in July, drinking cold coffee in the shade, looking at the peaceful life that somehow we made. Frost on the glass, keeping midsummer cool. No longer running, trying to break every rule. Just dark ice, espresso, and a quiet, gentle sky. When future days arrive, without a struggle or a why. I picture your hair a little silver at the side, sitting by the window where the afternoon light glides, clinking glass straws while the neighborhood slumbers. No more chasing schedules or keeping track of numbers. We will talk about the old days like a forgotten tape, how we worked through the heat just to find an escape. Now the bitter drip coffee tea, smooth and refined with the calm summer breeze, leaving worries far behind. Right now I'm sitting on a crowded subway line, sweating through my shirt while I am wishing for that time. But I keep that future image locked inside my head. A cool glass of brew and a terrace instead. When the work days end and the quiet comes home, and we drink cold coffee in a place of our own. 12:45 on a future afternoon, ice cubes clinking softly to a summer tune. Cold brew in hand under sky bright and clear, holding on to hope till that future day is here.